Morning, folks. Welcome to Keswick. We're here again with the truth of the Bible, the truth of God's Word, the Bible. There's only one true living God, and there's only one Word of God, and that's the Bible. And there's only one God that exists. God is in the heavens, doing all that He pleases. He's the one who created everything. He made everything. Everything that your eye can see, all the beauty in Cumbria today, all the every part of creation is just that. It's creation. It's created by an almighty power. It didn't just form itself from some big bang from nout. Out of nout comes, if you have nout and you add nout, guess what that equals, my friends? That's right, nout. Nothing can't create anything. Everything that was made was... Sorry, my dear, you got something constructive to say? Everything that was made by the God of the Bible. Apart from Him, nothing was made. He made everything. He made the stars. The God of the Bible, He made the stars. And He says in His Word, He says, in the beginning God, not in the beginning a big bang, in the beginning God made the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the waters, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. How did God do it? He spoke everything into existence. What an almighty power behind that. Imagine having limitless power where you can speak things into existence. That's the God of the Bible. That's the power behind God. That's the power He has. He's omnipotent. He has infinite power. Your God. You say, well, He's not my God. He's your God, regardless whether you acknowledge it or not. He's the only God who exists. And in Him, you live and move and have your being. You can't lift a finger. You can't lift a finger unless the God of the Bible gives you the energy, the power to do it. In Him, you live and move and have your being. You're not an autonomous being. You didn't give yourself life. You didn't bring yourself into this world. The God of the Bible knit you together in your mum's womb at conception. At conception, where life begins, the God of the Bible made you. He made you. He formed your inward parts. He knit you together in your mother's womb. And He brought you forth from your mum's womb. He gave you life. He took care of you in your greatest need in your mum's womb. At the time where you were most vulnerable in your mum's womb. The God of the Bible, He took care of you, gave you life. He brought you forth from your mum's womb and made you. He made you. He formed your inward parts. He made you either male or female. Male and female, God made them. There's no other gender, no other sex. The God of the Bible made male and female. Full stop. There's no confusion with God. He's not the author of confusion. That's the other fella. That's the devil, the enemy of your soul. If you're confused about your gender, that you're confused because the devil, that vile creature who hates humanity with a pure hatred, he's confused you. He's blinded your minds. You see, and we live in a nation that's gone far from God, haven't we? We've gone far from God in this nation. This nation has been blessed previously in previous generations by the God of the Bible, the God who keeps us safe. And this nation's turned its back on reality. This nation is choosing insanity, isn't it, over reality. This nation is doing crazy things like toying with the idea that mankind can change their sex. You know, just at whim. If you wake up one morning, you feel like the opposite sex, just run with it. Your feelings trump reality. But you know that that's insane, don't you? You know the insanity of that. You know that that's not reality. Your feelings don't determine reality, my friends. And it's either insanity or God. It's either insanity or the God of the Bible, the God who made us. That's the world that we live in. We live in his world. And so-called atheists who, they're too intelligent to believe in a God. Pride goes before destruction. But so-called atheists, there aren't any atheists, by the way. There may be people calling themselves atheists, denying God's existence with their own intellect. They're so too wise for their own good. There's no such thing as an atheist. If you're an atheist, if you're claiming to be an atheist, you're professing that you have no faith in God. All you're doing is suppressing that knowledge is given you of himself. You see, God didn't create humankind and then leave him guessing whether he exists or not. The God of the Bible, he created every human being, and every human being that God created, the God of the Bible, the only God who exists. Yeah, bad things happen in life, my friend. I could explain to you why if you have a question about that. The God of the Bible, he made you. And you see, it's either living our lives under the rule of God, or living our lives believing a lie, following the devil and his ways. You see, there's no free will. There's no free will for humankind. There's no autonomous human being. We either live for God and him and follow his rules and live under his rules, or we live a slave to sin and the devil. And the devil says, jump, and you ask, how high? And that's currently where we're at in this nation. 10 million babies murdered in their mother's womb since 1967. Very wicked nation we live in. An evil and adulterous generation, you might say. Marriage is it's looked upon. Marriage now it's looked upon as something trivial, isn't it? It's not a precious thing that it once was. People live together, live in the same house together, live, as we used to call, in sin, and it's just a light thing. It doesn't matter. Everybody else is doing it. Just go with the flow. You see, you either go with the flow, you go God's way, and the other way, well, there's a way that seems right to mankind, but the end is the way of death. It's not wise to follow the crowd, my friends, especially when they're doing what's wrong in God's sight, especially when they're in direct contradiction to what God says. But that's where we're at as a nation. 10 million babies murdered in their mother's womb, very wickedly murdered. The mother doesn't have the God-given right to kill her own baby. Think about that, my friends. And this nation has turned its back on that wickedness. This nation, well, it doesn't affect me, just said nothing. Just gone along with it. Well, that's what they want to do. Well, babies are murdered in their millions. It's worse than the Holocaust, isn't it? And that's the nation that we live in, a so-called civilized nation where a mother would take her unborn baby to a doctor for him to slaughter. It's wicked, my friends. It's evil. Let's call it what it is. It's not choice, is it? Well, it is choice, actually. It's a very bad choice. It's a very wicked choice. It's evil. Let's call it what it is. And some wise guy once said, he says, in order for evil to flourish, all it takes is for good people to say nothing. And that's what this nation has done. They've sat there saying nothing since 1967, since the abortion law was brought into effect. And they've gone far from God. They're doing what's right in their own eyes. They're calling evil good and good evil. It's wicked, my friends. That this nation has fallen. This nation has fallen far from the God of the Bible. They've gone far from God, haven't they? I've lost weight a little bit. Yeah, well, thank you. Keto. Yeah. And this nation needs to turn back to its God. We live in a very uncertain time, don't we? Maybe some financial crisis on the horizon. We live in a very uncertain time where maybe some nuclear war with Putin, perhaps. We live in an uncertain time, don't we? There's a lot of fear around today, isn't there? A lot of fear and doubt. We're not as safe as we once were. And no coincidence we've turned our back on the God of the Bible. No coincidence we've gone our own way, done what's right in our own eyes, calling evil good and good evil. The Bible tells us that it says, woe to them who call evil good and good evil. It's not wise to mock God. It's not wise to live our lives indifferent to God and living our lives for the stuff in this world that's very, very temporary. This world is transient, fading away, my friends. You can't save the planet. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but recycling your rubbish, driving electric cars and being an unhealthy vegan can't save the planet. You can't save this planet, my friends. You know, I've got a sign here that reminds us of when God destroyed the earth once. He flooded the earth, the complete earth that he created. Mankind's wickedness, just like it is now, was prevalent before God. It came up to God and he determined to destroy and begin again. And he provided a way where mankind could be safe. He provided an ark. Remember Noah's ark? You've heard about Noah's ark? God provided an ark and he saved 8 people. Only 8 people were saved out of the whole human race at that time. The rest fell under the judgment of God, under the anger of God. God is angry, you see. He's not this big fluffy pink bunny up in heaven waving a rainbow flag celebrating diversity. That's not the God of the Bible. The God of the Bible is holy. He's jealous, a jealous God. He's jealous for his holiness. He's jealous for his own glory. He'll have nobody boasting in anything other than him. The Bible, the only God who exists, you see. And he destroyed humanity. He flooded the earth once, didn't he? Only 8 people were saved when they entered the ark, that place of safety that God provided. Only 8 people saved. While God, his wrath came upon this world. And he gave us a rainbow. He gave us the rainbow not as a sign of mankind's wickedness, where men and women wave rainbow flags, to boasting in their own wickedness, in their own evil, their own vileness, their own unnatural behavior. The God of the Bible gave us a rainbow, not for the NHS so we can celebrate that, but he gave us a rainbow as a sign. The Bible tells you this. You can read it for yourself in the Bible. You don't have to take my word for it. God destroyed people. His wrath fell. So God, he isn't just looking upon mankind's wickedness and saying, well, I love that sinner, but I hate the sin. God doesn't love the sinner and hate the sin. You won't find that anywhere in the Bible. The God of the Bible is an angry God, and he's angry with the wicked. That's people. He's angry with the wicked every single day. He hates all evildoers. And he's going to judge righteously. And he determined to destroy the world by a flood once. And saved 8 people, began again with 8 people, Noah and his family. And he provided an ark, didn't he? He provided a place of safety. You see, God is a God of wrath. He's a just judge, and he will do what's right. And even though he's angry, and even though we've sinned terribly against God and failed him miserably every single day of our lives, done what's right in our own eyes, even though we've sinned enough already for God to give us what we deserve, he provides a way of escape. There's always mercy with God. He provided an ark. And 8 people were saved when they entered into that ark, when they did what God commanded. They were saved. God began again with humankind. And he provided a rainbow as a sign that he would never flood the earth again. And he hasn't, has he? There might be floods in Pakistan, here, there, and everywhere, but not over the whole earth as he did before. He's never done that again, has he? He's kept his promise. And God always keeps his promise, my friends. That's where we find our hope, in the promises of God, not in the promises of any politician. That's not where we find hope. No, it's become commonplace now. We realise that every time a politician speaks, he's lying when his lips are moving. A politician's lying when his lips are moving, right? We just accept that. They're lying. That's true, my friend. Every time a politician's lying. I believe in reality, my friend. You don't. You obviously don't. You don't realise that politicians tell lies. The Bible says, "Let God be true and every man a liar." Everybody's feathered in their own nest. Everybody's living their lives for themselves. We're very self-serving creatures. So I don't know why it's such a strange thing to say that politicians lie when that's reality. That's reality. You say, well, it's not nice. It's reality. It's the truth. Politicians lie, and it's become commonplace in this nation. It's very sad. We can't even trust our politicians to have integrity, can we? We can't trust our politicians because they tell lies. If you trust a politician, you're very naive, aren't you? Doesn't matter who they are. And so the God of the Bible, he has provided a safe place for humanity. You know, I know you like to be safe. I know you like to keep safe. I mean, 2 years ago, most of you were wearing those cloth masks in fresh air. Most of you were hiding behind your sofa to keep safe and not visiting loved ones, not visiting sick relatives, not going to school or work. Most of you were following the government mandates to the letter, weren't you? To keep safe, because you believed that there was a dangerous virus out there ready to pounce on you if you went out without your muzzle. I know you like to keep safe. And it doesn't matter what insane rule the government came up with, you followed it. Because you wanted to keep safe. You know, keep 6 meters away from everybody in case that virus gets you. Get 3 or 4 injections. 3 or 4 injections. Is it 4 injections now you should have had? Or is it 5? I mean, where does it end, my friends? Where does it end? How many injections are you going to have to try and keep safe? How many are you going to have? 55? What's going to be left of you? It'll be like a pincushion. It's insane. And you know it's insane, and it's either insanity or God. And this world will always promote insanity. Call good evil and evil good. Call black white and white black. Up down and down up. Tell you it's okay for a woman to murder a baby in the womb. Tell you that it's okay for a man to live with another man and have sex with another man. Tell you that it's okay, it's fine, you know, it's just, love is love. It's okay for a woman to sleep with another woman. That's insane. But they haven't stopped there, have they? They're now promoting transgender lunacy, where a 5-year-old child can suddenly wake up one morning and decide he wants to be a girl. And we just have to go along with it. Send him off to a clinic to get his body mutilated in an attempt to change his sex. That's insane. And you know it's insane as well as I know it's insane. You can't change your sex, my friends. Nobody can. You and I were made either male or female. Male and female, God made them. And that's it. In the beginning, Jesus said, God made them male and female. For this reason, a man shall leave his mother and father, be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. That's God's definition of marriage right there. A man and a woman in a marriage. And that's the only relationships that God approves of. All other sex outside of a man and a woman is a sin. It's a sin, my friend. You don't believe that? And that's where we're at in this nation. You know, they're calling good evil and evil good. And it's not going to end well, my friends. The God of the Bible, he's not looking the other way when humanity sin. He's keeping an account. And the Bible tells us that after death, when we die, after death, it's judgment. We'll all stand before our Creator one day. You and I out here today, we've got one thing in common, haven't we? We've sinned against God. We've broken God's law a myriad of ways, enough already for him to give us what we deserve, and that isn't heaven. There is no purgatory. There's no second chance. There's no reincarnation. It's heaven or hell. Heaven or hell, my friends. And none of us deserves heaven. And we've all broken God's law, you see. We've all sinned enough against our Creator for him to throw us into a devil's hell. For him to punish us forever and ever in a place where there's no more joy, no more peace, no more ice cream, no more chocolate, no more friendship. A place of unimaginable terror. That's what humanity deserve. The wrath of God, where he doesn't give them any good thing. You see, the God of the Bible is a very patient God. But his patience will run out one day. His mercy will run out. He won't always strive with mankind, the Bible says. One day God's mercy is going to come to an end. One day God's patience is going to end. And he's going to judge all sin wherever he finds it. All sin. Imagine that. The God of the Bible, he has an absolute standard of right and wrong. He's a lawgiver. And all we are lawbreakers. What is a holy God going to do with unholy people who've broken his law? What should a pure God, a perfectly pure God who's righteous in all his ways, he's of pure eyes and to behold evil. He's a God who's light and in him is no darkness. That's all. What should a pure God do with impure people, my friends? What should a pure God do with impure people? People who've done wicked, vile, sneaky, nasty things in secret. You see, everything that you've done in the dark will be brought into the light one day. Everything you've done in secret, every wicked, sneaky, nasty, depraved thing that you've gotten up to in life, and we've all done that, we've all sinned, every single one of us has sinned against our Creator. What should he do? See, the Bible tells us that he's going to leave no stone unturned on the day of judgment. He's going to judge all sin wherever he finds it. And it's appointed. It's fixed already. It's appointed for us to die once, isn't it? Nobody out here today in Keswick, nobody, not one person out here today in Keswick is getting any younger, are they? Nobody. Every single one of us is moving forward to our appointment that God has made. Same as he appointed our day of birth, he didn't ask our permission where we wanted to be born, who we wanted to be born to. He didn't ask us when we wanted to be born either, did he? The God of the Bible, he's in the heavens and he does all that he pleases, my friends. And he's appointed, he's fixed our day of death. You and I will go at our appointed time. That's one appointment that we'll keep perfectly. You won't leave this world any sooner or later than God's appointed time, you see. That's reassuring. Our time is in God's hands. Your life isn't an accident. Your life has meaning and purpose because the God of the Bible, the only God who exists, has given you life. He lends you breath. In him you live and move and have your being. Your life isn't wasted, my friend. Your life isn't pointless. Your life has meaning and purpose because of the God who's given you it. He has a purpose for your life. And he'll keep you. He's kept you safe this far, hasn't he? He's kept you safe. He's provided for your every need. He gave you a mum and a dad. He gave you a mum and a dad, didn't he, that weren't pro-choice. Your mum and dad were pro-life. That's good news for you and your existence, isn't it? God did that. God provided your parents, your family. He provided shelter, food. Even the very air that you breathe, God gives you it. He's a good God. And it's the goodness of God that should bring us to repentance. It's the goodness of God that should cause us to worship him. He's the only one who deserves worship, honor, praise. He's the one who deserves our love. Do you love God? Do you have any concept of what it is to love the God of the Bible? Has God changed your heart so that you love him? The God who's provided for your every need, who's brought you this far and kept you safe. You see, the God of the Bible, the only God who exists, there is no other God. He's the only one who does exist. He's the only creator that exists. When he created everything, he didn't create everything and then walk away and leave it to exist apart from his purpose and plan. The God of the Bible has a plan, a decree. And every single thing that happens in his universe, every single thing, no matter how small, every single thing that happens in God's universe happens for a reason. There isn't a raindrop falls from that sky that does not hit its appointed target. That's how powerful God is. He has infinite knowledge, infinite power. He's sovereign. And he never makes a mistake. And he has a plan. And we look at the world, we see how chaotic it looks and uncertain how it looks. And we'll say, oh, well, you know, if something bad happens, oh, that was bad luck. Or if something good happens, oh, that was lucky. But there is no such thing as luck. There's no such thing as good luck or bad luck in the universe that God created. He didn't create the universe to exist by chance. You see, the God of the Bible is not that puny. He's an all-powerful God. He has infinite power. Do you know him? You've met him? Are you a Christian? Oh, praise the Lord. Lady going to heaven there. She's on her way to heaven. Only Christians go to heaven. Only Christians have their sins forgiven. Only Christians know God. And only Christians know for certain where they're going when they die. Do you know where you're going when you die? Do you love God? You see, love for God. If you have a sincere, genuine, heartfelt love for God, the God that you've never seen, if you have that in your heart, my friends, then your heaven is for you. You're going to heaven when you die. And that's the only thing that matters to each and every single one of us out here today, isn't it? Your priority in life is not to live for the stuff in life, the money, the success, the relationships, is it? That's not your priority in life. Hello, my friend. Oh, you believe that?
My priority in life is, I'm afraid, not what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. You don't believe it?
No, I think most...
Well, God can make you believe, my friend.
I have a wife who believes, and I don't, and we have a perfectly good relationship between us.
Yeah.
What most people are concerned about is having a quiet time in
Oh,
their
right.
street.
Yeah, I understand. You think I'm spoiling everyone's peace.
I do.
Well, there is no peace outside of Jesus, you see. Just a false peace.
You are talking rubbish, sir.
No, I think you're under the wrath of Almighty God. Has your wife not told you this? If she's a believer, you're an enemy of God.
We have a perfectly good arrangement between us.
Yeah, but if she cares about you, if she loves you, she's commanded to love her husband. And
You see, she loves me not because she's commanded to do so.
but she will. She'll understand that she's to love everybody, isn't she? She loves her neighbour as she loves herself.
I'm afraid you are just spouting rhetoric.
I'm telling you what the Bible says, my friend. I'm not here with my own opinion. My own opinion means nothing, like yours.
I don't shout at everybody. If I want
No, but you have nothing to say. You have no hope for anybody, have you?
If I wish to go and talk to yourselves, I'll go to your church.
Yeah, well, that's a problem, see? Nobody's coming to our church, so we've got to come out to where the people are at.
But the people are not responding.
Well, how do you know they're not responding?
Because all these people are ignoring me.
Well, you
How do
don't see.
that?
That's a myth, you see. Just because you don't see crowds cheering me on and patting me on the back and thanking me for the message, it doesn't mean to say that God isn't at work.
No, but I have eyes, and I'm looking at 100 people, and these 100 people are not overly interested in what you're saying.
Well, according to you, you see. And I'm not relying on my own intellect or my own eloquence, my own friendly demeanour to get people interested in what I'm saying, you see.
You see, you're talking over me, but this gentleman
Trying to enlighten you, my friend.
is saying that all these people are very interested in what you say.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that, my friend. What I said was, I'm not relying on my own intellect or eloquence or friendly demeanour to make people interested. You see, I know.
I think people.
If you'd let me finish.
I think people were more interested in what you've said in the last 2 minutes than in the previous 20. We'll leave it at that.
Well, you have a good day, my friend. Repent and believe the gospel, because there's an angry God awaiting for you when you die, my friend. It's a fearful thing. A fearful thing to stand before the one true living God. That gentleman was objecting, saying, well, there's nobody interested in what you're saying. Well, I'm not relying on my own intellect, my own